Okay, that is Letitia James, the Attorney General of the state of New York. It's hard to believe she's actually a lawyer because she behaves in a very unlawyerly way, campaigning, promising to prosecute Trump. That seems to be in violation of the State Bar Association, but here's a sample.
I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you. Get off your ass and vote.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
Running for Attorney General because I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake.
We need to focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money. We need to find out where he's laundered money. All of those transactions have happened here in New York City.
Wow. I don't think any of that's true, by the way. She certainly hasn't proved it. She's been in office for some time, and nothing's happened, although a lot's happening at the same time. I want to bring in Alina Habba. She's an attorney representing the Trump Organization and Donald Trump, and they have subpoenaed you. You guys are firing back. First of all, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, Greg. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Terrific. Bring us up to speed. All that stuff seemed ridiculous. I know she's issued, I believe, subpoenas for a lot of the Trumps. Where do things stand right now?
So there has been an investigation for many, many years, which has gone nowhere. As she has admitted, she basically has dual investigations, both in the criminal with what was Cy Vance's investigation and is now DA Bragg's, which is frightening. So she has been working kind of in tandem with them. And what has happened is basically she's trying to usurp the criminal protections of an investigation by using the civil side when she wants to subpoena Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka, and the former president of the United States. And basically what I see as a desperate attempt to kind of close the case and get it somewhere after years of going nowhere.
Okay. Can you, all right, you're going to have to break that down for me a little bit further. Just bottom line, yeah. I'm trying to get my hands around this thing, and I think it's both complicated and simple at the same time. She doesn't have a case, probably knows that. She's desperate. I heard you say that. So what happens next?
So she's trying to get their depositions, basically, and that is what we're saying. You've had years to get this investigation to a head. She's coming up on an election, and she wants, to basically wrap it up and make it look like the hero, which she hasn't been able to do for years. So she thinks by getting a deposition, she's going to basically crack some case, which is just not going to happen. And it's completely unethical. It's discrimination. It's selective prosecution. It's not allowed. And she's looked at all the documents that everybody has provided, and she still doesn't have enough. So she's going after the family.
Now, there are some things that lawyers are not allowed to do. Is she in violation of any of those ethics rules that you have to update your profile every year, you have to undergo ethics training? The stuff she said about Donald Trump when she was a candidate would seem to be, I don't know, prejudicial or something. Can you go after her for the comments she's made outside of the office?
Yes, and we are. The Northern District action addresses it, and then there are some other private actions that will be taken to make sure that she's held accountable. You cannot, as an attorney, go after somebody prior to even taking office and predetermine that they have committed laundering and criminality. It's very clearly viewpoint discrimination, which is against our constitutional rights. You can't, it's obvious because she wasn't even the attorney general. She had no knowledge of his matters with money, business, otherwise, but she determined he was a money launderer. This is very similar to how Biden got slack for calling Kyle Rittenhouse, a member of the KKK. Yeah. You just can't do that in this country.
Hey, you work for Donald Trump. You're his lawyer, one of his lawyers. What's that like? What kind of boss is he? What kind of client is he? He's not your boss. He's a client. Anyway, what's it like?
He's the best, honestly. Working for the Trump family, the organization, they have some brilliant people on their team. And it's a shame that more people don't actually get to know the former president. He is incredibly smart. He is just in love with this country. And he really does not want to sue for his own values or his own interests. He is truly hired me to go and say, hey, Alina, this country has fallen apart. Can you help me get it back on track? Because unfortunately, we've tried everything but suing the attorney general. And now it's gotten so haywire that we've got to get this country back together. He loves this country so much. And honestly, he is the kindest person. His family is wonderful. They're just good people.
It is wild. You see those kids. They've been in international business for such a long time, and they dragged Donald Jr. to Capitol Hill, and the way Hunter is off the hook, it's pretty wild. Anyway, Alina Habba, attorney representing the Trump Organization and Donald Trump himself, we thank you again. All the best to you and the president.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Be right back.